Hi Sushma. Hi everyone, a very good afternoon to all of you. Welcome to Spotlight with Suman, a platform where we bring to you an image consultant every week from Image Consulting Business Institute and showcase their work, their personal life, as well as their professional life. So, my guest for today is Poonam Sood, a very senior image consultant and a highly experienced person from the corporate background. So she has 18 years of experience, and with me, she will be joining on this platform and sharing her experience as well as insights on her personal life as well as professional life. Waiting for Poonam's request. Once she sends in her request, we will start our interaction. Poonam, I'm waiting for your request. I'm still not able to see Poonam here. So I'm getting a lot of requests to join in. I'm sorry, I will not be able to accept the request because this is like a personal interaction as well as a professional conversation. So I'm really sorry, I will not be able to accept anybody's request right now. Poonam, are you there? I still can't find you, Poonam. Hello, Saloni. Hi, Vishali. I'm still waiting for Poonam Sood. Poonam, you need to send in a joining request. I've sent you a request, Poonam. You need to accept it now. I guess there is some problem. Poonam, can you send in a request? I've accepted your request, Poonam. You need to come in. For some reason, Poonam is unable to join. Let us check.
Hello,
Hi,
ma'am.
finally. How are you,
Finally, yes,
Poonam?
ma'am. Very good, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me over.
What happened? What happened? What was the glitch all about?
I think I was unable to figure out what was going on and probably somewhere got lost in between. But I'm glad to be here
Okay,
finally.
great. Just a minute.
Sure, ma'am.
Yes. Yes. So, how are you doing?
Very good, ma'am. Thank you so much. How about you?
Very well. Fantastic. I was just waiting for you. I was wondering what happened, and I hope there is no internet problem or some technical glitch. But
Happy
thankfully,
to be
we are
here.
here
Yes.
and everything is all fine. We are
Yes,
just
ma'am.
about 10 minutes late, but it's fine.
Thank you.
Great. So let's start. And my first question to you is that what is the best thing about becoming an image consultant and a soft skills trainer? Because you are a combination of both and you're doing a lot of work and you are absolutely active in the market. So, what has been the best thing about being in this profession?
Ma'am, I think we are going to agree on this and I follow your footsteps on that. There's not even a single day of boredom in this profession, first and foremost. Every day is unique, and the best thing that I feel is that I get to meet so many people across walks of life. I mean, they're across sectors, across industries, across demographics, across cultures, across hierarchies, across businesses. And though it might seem like quite a wide spread, at the end of the day each one of them is a human, and all of them, irrespective of what level they are at, what profession they are in, they all are looking for two basic questions. One, how could I present myself better, and how can I perform better in the role that I am in? And these are the only two questions that each one of them is looking for answers. And as I help them find their answers, I myself learn and grow with each and every assignment, because each assignment presents its own unique challenges. It's like I'm exploring my own potential with every interaction that I go through. So I think
Absolutely.
that's the best part. It just leaves
I
me
think,
feeling
I think
completely
every
satisfied.
client teaches us and gives us a new experience, right?
Absolutely, absolutely, ma'am. So there's always a learning. So that's really satisfying. I think that's the best part that I enjoy the most in this.
Fantastic. So tell me, you come with 18 years of corporate experience. What made you decide on making this career shift? I mean, it was a big decision, I believe. After 18 years, nobody
It
actually
was.
thinks of making a shift like this. But then you did that. I mean, it was quite a bold step. So, what made you think or decide on making this kind of a shift?
Ma'am, can I start by answering when? How did it start and when it started?
Sure, sure.
So it was my first ever shift. We shifted as a family from Delhi, born, brought up, settled nicely in Delhi. It was like home for me. Never even imagined anything else could be home. And then came the first ever shift from Delhi to Mumbai. That led me to taking a sabbatical because I myself wanted to settle. I had to settle my family. And during that sabbatical, I got time to introspect myself. I got time to reflect back on what I had been doing till now and what is it that I would want to do next. And when I went into that self introspection mode, I realized that, like most of us, all that I had been doing in that corporate journey of mine was just go on with that rat race day after day, in that same monotony, in that same routine, in that same rut. And finally, did I feel satisfied? What I was doing was just wanting to grow into the next role from the role that I was in, day after day, year after year. And at that point of time, when I questioned myself, are you happy and satisfied? Would you want to get back into it again? The answer was a no. The answer was no, I don't want to get back into it, because now I wanted to do something which would give me more purpose to my being.
I
And
think
when I went into,
sabbatical is the time when we actually get to introspect and think about
right,
so many things about our
right,
life.
yes, and I'm happy I got that time. Otherwise, I would have still been lost.
Very true. Absolutely. So, your sabbatical was for how long?
Ma'am, I took a 3 year sabbatical. I started into my thought process in the first year. It took me 3 years to decide. And in the meantime, I kept on doing my research to understand what exactly is it that I would want to do. Because once I take the plunge, I would want to put my heart and soul into it.
True, very true.
So at that point of time, I reflected and I realized what is it that I would love doing. And I got an answer that I've always aspired to be a better version of myself through self-awareness and guidance.
So how did
And
image consulting and soft skills happen, I mean, during your sabbatical phase?
true. So when I realized that I wanted to become a better version of myself, my next question was, how do I become a better version of myself? And the answer that I got was like a complete, difference to my own self on a daily basis. And it was like in my appearance, in my behavior. So what is that thing that could help me to bring that change in myself, in my appearance and behavior? And I narrowed down and I understood that there could be nothing better than image consulting, which helps us give an inside out approach and an outside in approach. So it's like a complete circle that goes on, an inside out and an outside in approach. And doing image and soft skills together, I think it was like a glove and a hand kind of an approach. That really worked for me. And that's when I decided that this is it. I came to meet you, I remember. I did come to the center also a few times. And yes, after talking to you, I got a path that yes, I'm on the right path. I'm on the right direction. And that's when I decided that I want to facilitate this process for as many people as I could. Because I believed that each one of us deserves that one opportunity to success. And I want to be that guide for them, the same guide that I kept on looking for me in my journey.
So how have you evolved both personally and professionally by doing image consulting and soft skills training?
I would definitely say I have. And how? When I was in my role as a mother and as a leader in my professional role, there would be many moments when I would be required to take instant decisions. And just see that they're followed through. Mm-hmm. Doing that repeatedly over the years somehow led me to see things only from my point of view. And I somehow would invalidate the point of views of the other. As I started doing this program, I started becoming more receptive, more open, and more understanding of others' point of views as well.
So were you a bossy mother?
Sorry, ma'am?
Were you a bossy mom?
I'm still called a Hitler and a savage mom. That's how they address me. I am a Hitler and a savage mom. I think I'll stay like that for them. And I would say why I had to be like that, because my husband would be traveling around 15 to 20 days a month. Mm-hmm. So when I have to take charge of everything, sometimes I felt I have to just take control and take charge. And I cannot just wait for things to happen. I have to make them happen.
Absolutely. And sometimes we have to play a role of a mother as well as a father, in the house.
Yes.
And
yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you. So you have been and you are still a very busy woman. We all know that you do multiple corporate assignments and you're always busy with some work or the other. Either you're doing corporate assignments or you're doing ICDI training.
Thanks
you're
to you.
Busy. So tell us more about what kind of work are you doing in the market? What is the kind of assignments that you deal with, in the corporate scenario?
Ma'am, first, I would say busy would mean when I'm doing tasks. I don't do tasks. I love doing what I'm doing, because for me, each day is like a bucket list for me. I don't have a to-do list every day. I have a bucket list for me every day. And we all love living our bucket lists and ticking off items. So that's what it is for me every day. So I do have a lot of time. Please give me more assignments. So time is not an issue. Time finds me. And as per what kind of work that I'm doing, I enjoy doing various interventions on personal development front, on personal growth front, on professional development front, on leadership development front. I enjoy doing all these through various modes, which could be like a one-on-one interaction, or it could be through a team training or a team facilitation kind of an option. Again, for individuals, for corporates, and for businesses. So that's what I'm doing currently. I'm also on a design panel of a global US firm, training firm, that is helping me explore my own self more and help me grow on a global level. Again, getting to know people across cultures, how they work, how they perform. Again, coming back to the same, across cultures also, people just want to become better versions of themselves.
When you say design panel firm, what does that mean? I mean, how exactly? Can you elaborate this assignment?
So, ma'am, this is about like a few of us across the globe coming together, brainstorming over how can we better evolve the leaders from whom they are right now. How can the leaders who are currently in the role of leadership, what can they do differently? What can they do differently to become better themselves in their role and become better leaders for their team members, help them achieve their goals, align the values, and then achieve the bigger corporate roles that they're there. And at the end of it, each one of them feels happy and satisfied. So developing those programs which can be delivered with keeping all these values and cultures in mind is what I'm doing, along with all the exposure and experience that I've gained from ICBI and IMPA, yes.
Absolutely. Brilliant. So you are handling a lot of international assignments as well as the local assignments which are given to you, locally, which you are dealing and, you're working on. And you also do ICBI training and you also handle IMPA. So how are you managing everything? I mean, do you get enough time to rest at home or no?
Ma'am, like I said, it's a bucket list for me. So I enjoy each and everything that I do. And when I do, I have, in 2020 especially, I have learned to become more focused. I have become more aware of the choices that I'm making. That helps me regulate my own emotions. It helps me manage time, people, and situations. And when I'm able to do that, I'm, at the end of the day, I sleep, I'm calm and I'm satisfied. So that's what matters.
So
and
we
I'm
are
ready to take on
already
next
we are
day.
already in December, Poonam. We are already touching the end of 2020. But what has this 2020 pandemic taught you? The most important thing.
Ma'am, 2020 has taught me that how it is important to continuously adapt ourselves, to stay flexible and open, and how we can reinvent ourselves and change. As humans, we have that capability. Probably we just overlook it and we let ourselves stay stuck in our comfort zone. But when we allow ourselves to come out of our comfort zone, we are able to achieve whatever we want to. And what kept me going, three things that I would borrow from Brené Brown, who said, strong backs, soft fronts, and wild hearts. So when I merged these three things, they helped me stay resilient. They helped me become more resilient and more courageous. So these things helped me go, ready for the next assignment or next whatever is coming.
Absolutely. So has there been any moment of regret where you felt that you were better off doing a 9 to 5 job rather than getting into your own venture?
Initially, yes, ma'am, there would be not regrets, but challenges wherein I would find difficulty in how to cut off my work time. Because it was your own work, I would hesitate to say no to work. I would be overbooked, which would work me out and burn me out. So initially, I was struggling with that phase. However, as I learned how to become more aware of what am I doing, what do I want to do, who I want to be, and how to manage my own time, I started understanding how to figure out everything. And now I would say I'm able to face those challenges. I'm able to set boundaries, and yes, no regrets at all. I'm in a very happy space.
So share with us one of your exciting client experiences. I'm sure you must have dealt with many clients and a lot of them would have been your favorites, but one favorite client, and what was the experience all about?
Ma'am, that's a difficult question to answer.
I know most people
really
say that.
That's really a difficult one. Like I said, every client experience is I'm learning something. Favoriting one over the other would be probably, I don't know, but all right, let me try this. So one of my favorite memories is from this girl whom I trained in an NGO. And after a leadership training that we conducted for her, she was a shy girl, and she went on to claim the first award in a speech competition. And when she came back and spoke about it, there was a smile that was stuck to her face and it was just not going. That smile of her own achievement, that was one of my favorite memories that I still have stuck in my mind. Talking from the corporate point of view, there have been times when people would be a little skeptical on how to go about things, and by the end of the trainings they would get converted into believers, where they would then come up and say that we never realized where we were ourselves sabotaging our own growth. And after the training and after this facilitation, we've been able to realize and understand how elements even like image and elements like communication are important to be able to grow forward. So yes, those have been truly gratifying and rewarding moments.
And you must be experiencing these moments very often, right?
Ma'am, I've been fortunate enough, blessed and grateful.
Great. So you have two grown-up kids. Tell us more about them and what is their view about having a working mother, yet who's also available whenever they need you around. And do they consider themselves lucky that you are, although you are working, but you are still, most of the time at home, always available to them. So what is their point of view?
Ma'am, I think they better think that they are lucky. Though I'm not sure. Though I'm not sure they would agree with me. Like I said, they call me a Hitler mom and a savage mom. And it's like, so though I might not be always available when they want me, they know that I would always be available when they need me. So yes, I have a 19-year-old daughter who's in her first year of university. She worked very hard to get at it and quite heartbroken when she was told she'll have to do the entire first year online. So she could not go and enjoy that independent student life.
Yeah.
The whole night she's awake, attending classes. So there is, she had to adapt herself a lot to come into that frame of mind. I have a 14-year-old son who's in 9th grade, a die-hard football player. Again, stopped from playing his most favorite activity in the entire last 9 months. He too had to adapt himself into reframing, what can I do now when I can't do this? What I consider myself lucky is in that when they say that how I adapted myself as per different changes, all the changes that happened, helped them to adapt themselves. So when I didn't have to tell them what to do, but they just saw and adapted, I feel I'm lucky.
And do they have certain difference of opinions with you, or rather you have certain difference of opinions with them?
All the time, ma'am, all the time, all the time. It's all the time we have those. One is exiting.
The peak teenage.
Correct, absolutely. One is exiting, one is entering, and all the time I get to hear is you don't know. So I tell them, okay, then you tell me what I should know.
Yeah.
So that's an ongoing conversation all the time.
But that's fun, right? I mean, all the time.
Absolutely.
You have some
wild heart. That makes my heart wild. That makes my heart wild.
Absolutely. So apart from being associated with IMPA, Image Management Professionals Association, you have also got associated with a non-profit body, an NGO.
Yes.
And you are, doing certain assignments with them. So could you just throw some more light on what kind of assignment are you undertaking with an NGO apart from what you're doing with IMPA?
Ma'am, I've been associated with Indian Development Foundation. So they're a Mumbai-based NGO and working towards upliftment of the underprivileged schools and students. So I'm involved with them on student and youth leadership programs. So imparting training, developing programs at times. So yes, that is where I feel gratifying that I am able to contribute towards the future, towards our country's future. And as we know, our country is the youngest country in the world. So how can we have a better future through those youngsters is what I contribute to. IMPA, yes, that's again a role close to my heart, wherein I feel more connected with the industry. I feel that after I have gained experience in the industry, now I could shorten that span for the new entrants in the industry by sharing my experience and of course my knowledge that I have gained over these few years. So yes, these roles are quite close to my heart that ways.
And how did you decide what made you decide to associate yourself with an NGO?
I think just a simple fact that I'm in a position to be able to give. I think that's a very humbling and a gratifying feeling. So by giving, like when I was growing up, my parents and my dad especially would say, the more you give, the more you get. And that was a way I felt I could truly give, because knowledge sharing is what I was enjoying. And what better way to share the knowledge on a platform where it is required and can help also in a more meaningful way.
Absolutely true. So this must be like so gratifying and full of satisfaction, right?
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. It is. It is.
Fantastic. So tell me, Poonam, I mean, everybody has been vouching for the kind of work that you're doing, because everybody gets to know that you get fantastic feedbacks, in the market, and of course
Thank
from the
you. I'm
students
grateful.
also of ICBI. So how do you constantly upgrade yourself? Because this is something which is very, very important in our industry, to stay up, updated and keep upgrading themselves. And how do you stay relevant? Because in today's times, being relevant and staying relevant is something which is very, very important, and it's like a must do kind of a thing. So what is your
Right.
mantra of staying relevant in the market?
Uh, Ma'am, an overall mantra that I follow, thank you for that word. The overall mantra that I follow is the growth mindset.
Hmm.
First and foremost, I keep reminding myself that I don't have to get fixed and stuck and stay where I am. So I have to constantly be in that growth mindset, which means probably I'm just at the 20% of where I was started from, and I still have an 80% to cover. So that keeps reminding me that there's more that I can learn, more I can learn, more I can learn. And
So
then
do you constantly learn?
I constantly learn by way of refreshing. So during this lockdown, you had conducted a lot of webinars, sir had conducted a lot of webinars that helped me reconnect with the knowledge and the skill set that I had initially acquired through the course. So I keep refreshing. Then is upskilling myself. What more can I add to my existing skill set, which can help me deliver and connect with my audience better? So how and what more could I do, and how could I then incorporate that into my deliveries? How could I constantly upgrade myself to the changing and the evolved market that it is becoming today? Again, with a lot of younger audience coming in, a lot of newer ways coming in. So first it was like, so though I had been given an opportunity, I'm really thankful to ICBI. I was used to conducting virtual trainings ever since 2018. However, that mode was a slightly a different mode, and this mode suddenly shifting from working from home became altogether different. So how do I get used to different platforms? So from Zoom to MS Teams to WebEx, every platform had a different channel, and I realized what I'm delivering effectively over here would not work as effectively over here. So how could I tweak it? How could I change it? How could I still how could I still add value to the participants? So my focus always is, how could I add value to the audience who's coming there trusting me? So when I have that thing in my mind, I somehow find ways to do it. So yes, I keep doing some courses that I would keep doing. And then finally, in this lockdown, what I realized was that it is not just simple shifting of from a classroom mode to a virtual mode and just training people who are now working from home. People were not just working from home, they were staying at home and trying to work from home. So it was a big, big adjustment that they all were trying to make. So in that, so they would be restricted on time, they would be restricted on attention, they would be also facing a lot of self-image issues because they were hesitant to do their cameras on, they're hesitant to even do their audios on. So so what they would normally feel comfortable in a classroom environment or in a work environment, in an office environment, now they would be uncomfortable coming on a virtual platform and expressing themselves. How do I still get them to express? Make them feel comfortable with all the other people who probably they have not even met earlier.
Right.
And a virtual connect could not be the same connect. How could I still get them to do so? So yes.
So
Apart from
did they warm up with you during the sessions? Did you feel that they were able to express themselves openly and they were warming up with you?
To an extent, yes. Though I'll say achieving 100% rate is little difficult because if you're not able to see someone, if you're not able to hear someone, then how do you connect and understand them? So it was a challenge that I faced initially. Then I realized, okay, let me see if I can connect with them through chat. If they're not comfortable speaking and showing themselves, could chat be a way for them to come up? Could polls be a way for them to come up? So yes, constantly. So that's like every training, every opportunity is a different platform. So that helped a lot. Apart from that, I constantly try to subscribe to newsletters where I can get information of various industries, some tips, some information that I could get. Subscribe to more articles, subscribe, hear podcasts. So even while I'm walking, I would try to hear to some podcasts that I could capture. I have subscribed channels. So what is it that I can learn that can add value to my deliveries? That remains my single focus.
Yes. So that is why I think constant learning is the key for success, because if you're not upgrading yourself, you are standing still and you're not moving, and
Yes.
that
Yes.
becomes a bit of a hindrance to your road of success.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
So what's your 5 years plan, going forward?
Ma'am, I think after 2020, I have scrapped all my plans. 2020 made me realize no planning is going to work. You need to
Yeah.
rework and just take every day, each day as it comes. So I'm hoping for some magical moments in 2021, just waiting for this month to get over. Apart from that, for me, it always was and is like a journey. I've always believed in the journey that and the path that I'm walking on. How can I make that more enjoyable and pleasurable for myself? Rather than aiming for a goal and then probably a goal has to be there. Yes, I should know which direction I'm walking. Fine, that is there. So what is my that goal? So I would not still have a milestone to it, but my ultimate goal is that to become better, become more of an expert in this industry. As it is, this industry has grown manifold in the past few years. I see it growing further and I see myself growing with it. So how can I constantly grow at the same pace that the industry is growing? Probably that is a goal that I have for myself and gain
Fantastic.
more expertise in this industry.
And of course, I mean, as you also mentioned, and as we have already seen and witnessed, that the image consulting and soft skills training is a recession-proof industry.
Absolutely. I vouch for that, ma'am. I think there was not even a single day that I've been free. So so now when you ask me about the kids, probably there's an answer that I've got now. They keep telling me, can you just take some time off? One day can you take off? So it's like every day has just kept me occupied. It's like
I
I
know.
sometimes
I
have
mean,
to
I
say
have
no.
been hearing and I have been listening to so many people talking about you being absolutely busy. In fact, Benaisha has been saying that you are so busy, with your
Ma'am
work.
Vinasha has been helping me a lot. She's really been kind, and she's one who's encouraging me to adopt to various digital platforms and be future ready. So I think I owe that to Vinasha to keep me and make me future ready.
Absolutely. And my last question to you, Poonam, is that what message would you like to give to those who are planning to leave their corporate jobs and move into something of their own? So, what is the one single message that you would like to give to them?
I would say to them is take your time to think through, and once you've decided to take that plunge, like I said, go into it with your heart and soul. Go into it with your heart and soul so that you never ever doubt your own decision. Have belief in yourself. If you thought that you could do it, you would be able to do it. However, there are no shortcuts. So you have to stay patient and consistent with it.
There are absolutely no shortcuts. I think
No
I can
shortcuts.
vouch for it. I can
No
absolutely
shortcuts.
vouch for
Yes.
it.
Yes, ma'am. We learned a lot from you. So yes, there are no shortcuts. So staying
Absolutely.
patient and consistent is, I think, what helps to cover the journey.
Very true. So true. So thank you, Poonam, for all the interaction and the conversation that we had today, because I think this is the first time that we have interacted at length for the first time, and
And thank you to you, ma'am,
got to
for
know
that.
each
Thank
other
you.
pretty well. And I would like to say a big thank you to you and all the very best for your successful journey ahead.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for having me over, and thank you for giving me an opportunity and a platform to express myself.
Pleasure is mine. So, all the very best to you, Poonam, and a big thank you to all the viewers who are watching this live interaction. We will stay tuned for more updates and more interactions coming in the coming weeks. And Poonam, everything that you said was absolutely from the heart. So, I think you are absolutely genuine and I
Thank
wish
you.
you all the very best, because you have been doing a lot of work, and people have been, they have a lot of praises for you for the
Ma'am,
kind
thank
of
you.
quality work that you're imparting. So, all the success and all the happiness to you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, and wish all of that for you as well, ma'am. Thank you for
All right.
guiding.
All the
Thank you,
best.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, ma'am.